Hello everyone, how are you today? How's everything? How was your day? How was your weekend? Good, very
Hello,
good.
I'm good, and you?
I'm okay, thank you for asking. Are you guys ready for the last week of this cycle? Yes?
Yes.
Yep.
We
Sure.
finished this Thursday. My goodness, time has been passing by so fast. Crazy. Well, my dear friends, this is our class 7. Let me show you what's the plan. How was that discussion about fruits and lies? Was it good? Yeah, I think that's an interesting topic. Okay. Let me show you our agenda. Not this one. Okay, here we are. Class 7 on this level B2.4 of this cycle 13. And this is our plan for today. We're going to start by warming up our brain with this game. I think it's interesting and it's not related to any grammar or any vocabulary. Nobody's for playing to be detectives, to observe some things and to answer some questions, trying to find some information. So it's kind of cool. Then we will finish that part of truth and lies that you could not finish with your teacher, that is connecting what you were doing before this break. A little exercise about the vocabulary you guys were analyzing, okay? That's the connection. And then the rest of the class will be working on listening skills, okay? We will listen to a story in different parts, different questions, different discussion about it. And that's it. That's the whole plan. Questions, comments before we start? What are the questions? Tell me. No questions?
No, teacher.
Okay, my dear friends, let's go. Okay, I need to show you this and I need to tell you something. So first, I'm going to show you how you need to play because there are some things that are a little bit annoying, and is that they make us watch some videos. They are very short, not longer than 10 seconds, but annoying, yeah, because that's publicity. As it is for free, that's the price we have to pay for playing it, yeah? The rest of it is good. So let me show you. First, I'm going to explain here, and then I will show you how you do it. Basically, they ask you a question, and you have to look at the whole scene to answer the question, yeah? But in some cases, you may just guess. In other cases, we will need some help, yeah? Some hints, yes? A clue. How can you get those hints? How can you get those clues? By clicking on this, yeah? But the problem is that, well, you click the first time and they will give you the hint. But at some point during the game, you will run of them, yeah? You will run of them. So they will give you something like this. They will make you watch a video in order to give you that hint. That's the annoying part of the game. But it's okay, you can handle it. You can just click on watch because there isn't any other way, yeah? You click on watch and you are there like 10 seconds. In some cases, they will make you watch the whole video that is 10 seconds, not longer, or maybe less. In some other cases, it will be faster because you will just click on skip the ads. Yeah, so you have to watch any part of it. And you are back after watching that very short video. You are back and you click again here for asking for your hint. And then you get it. Look, check out her back. And that's the way you are getting more information for solving that case or mystery. Okay? Don't worry, let me show you. I will do 1 or 2 levels with you and then you will continue. It has 21 levels. Of course, we are not going to play all of them. No, just like, I don't know, I will see 5, 7 minutes. Okay, you will tell me, yes, but not all the 21 levels. Not because if it's hard, no, but it can be long just because they make us watch those videos, right? So I don't want us to be there for a long time. It's just like a game for warming up our brain, for, just release all the energy and have fun. So let me show you how it works, but I already told you everything related to the hints, so you guys know. Okay, pay attention. When you click on the game, you will see something like this. You click on the whole screen, okay, and you have the question. For example, I was in level 4 the last time I opened it. Oh no, let me put the music off. Oh, sorry, one thing. If the game is in Spanish for you, please click on here and change it to English, okay? I'm going to put the music off because I need you to listen to me. So you guys click on here and switch to English because I know that as soon as you open it, it will be in Spanish. Okay, let's do it together. Here we have the question. Who is a bad guy? And here we have some information. I hate checking lines. I will miss my flight. Well, but we have another guy here. There are 3 guys. So maybe you say, teacher, I don't have any idea about it. So maybe we need a hint. Let's click on this one. That is the one that gives you the hints. And let's check. Okay. Oh my God. Look, I am out of hints. So I need to watch the video. This is what I told you. So I click on watch. It will be very, very fast. Don't worry. And you can also skip the ads. Yeah. So in my case, I'm skipping the ads. Skipped, and that's it. And now I have my hint. Look. Okay, so they help me. Use the X-ray tool to search and find the evidence. Okay, let's do it. So I close it. What is the X-ray? Here. And let's use it to see which of these 3 is the bad guy. Everything okay with this one? Yes. Everything okay with this one? Let me see. He has a big suitcase. So I need to check it. Guys, sorry. Do you see what I'm doing? Is it okay? The image and everything? Okay, because you're so quiet and I felt like, okay, I am alone. And now let's check this one with the X-ray. Oh, this one is the bad guy. And then when you solve that, you see some comments. He's up to no good with those bombs. And that's something like that. Okay, that's the whole game. Then they will give you another situation. All of them are about lies. So that's what I found it interesting. And remember, you guys have the hints here. Okay? It's not that you have to watch a video every time you need a hint. No. In some cases, it will give you like 2 or 3. Don't worry. Okay. Ready? Yes? Do you understand? Yeah? Okay, let's do it. Remember, there are 21 levels, but of course, you guys are not going to go until there because it will be so long. Okay. Let me give you the link. And there you are. Go ahead, guys. I will be asking you how is it going. And of course, I'm going to be checking the attendance while you are playing. But let me do something before. Go ahead. Okay, boys and girls, I think it's time to be back together. How many questions did you ask? How was it? A lot? Not so many? 15? Good, very good. 16? Wow, awesome. 8 is okay, 9 is okay as well. 14, very good. Oh my God, Sylvia. Yeah, maybe because of the videos, right? Yes.
Yes, teacher.
I'm so sorry. Well, you guys answer lots of them. 12, 14, 15, 16. Great. Okay, guys, thank you so much for being patient. The problem with that was that if we don't want to see those videos, we have to pay. Yeah, I'm so sorry. Okay, guys, very good. You did a good job. Don't get stressed, please. Let's be back. Okay. Going back to what you guys were checking before the break, that was the vocabulary about truths and lies. Let me tell you what is next before we have our listening exercise. Okay. The next part is it's very short, don't worry. It's not difficult. Okay, let me show you. Basically, this last exercise to classify all of that vocabulary and sentences or expressions you guys learned today about truths and lies, yeah, and categorize them here according to their function. Ways of telling the truth, speaking bluntly, yeah, because you are frank and honest. Minor lies, what are those white lies? Yes. Crimes, things you do in a court, okay? Relating to relationships, and if they are not 1, 2, 3, or 4, you can just place them here in order, okay? So add the words or the phrases in bold in exercise 2, so these ones. In exercise 3 is with this, and in exercise 4, these bold ones. So all the vocabulary you guys analyzed today needs to be here in this word web. Okay? Is it clear? Yes?
Yes.
But as you guys were analyzing it before the break, it won't take you so much time because you already read the discussions, yeah? And you already went through those analysis, okay? So let's go. 1, 2, yes, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. You guys have the link in the chat. I'm sending you to a room with a partner. You have a second device, Carlos? Yes, I did. Okay, let's see if it works like this. 2, 2, 2, and 2, but this. So Carlos. Okay, perfect. Okay, guys, let's go. All the vocabulary, okay? All those words from exercises 2, 3, and 4. Let's do it. Okay, boys and girls, thank you so much for your hard work. I was checking what you guys were doing and you are done, which is wonderful. Questions about those sentences or expressions or vocabulary? Not really? Okay, so we are ready for the next part, which is our listening. Have you got any comment about the previous activity, or is everything clear with the vocabulary, guys? Because I know that you have already discussed it and, you know, like put it into context. So I'm not sure if you have any question. Okay.
Teacher, we can see the sentence, like the words that we organize, maybe.
Yeah, sure. Do you want me to
Because
check it with you?
Yes, we can shake it.
Yes.
Shake it, please.
Yeah, let me see. I'm just checking that some of you have not finished, but I thought it was a lot of time, so okay. Oh, no, but it's just like two groups, I guess. One. Okay. Okay, let's check it. Let's check it then. And then we continue. Don't worry, we can check it. Okay, wait, let me just close the listening that we were about to start. Okay. So here we are. Okay, my dear friends, let's go. So, ways of telling the truth. Bluntly, yes, and also home truths. Yeah, because when you tell home truths, you are also telling the truth, even if the other person doesn't like it. You remember home truths? Those unpleasant facts that you will listen or hear from another person. Yes? Is it clear? Did you guys
Yes.
did you guys find any other one here?
Teacher, yes, and testifying under oath.
Testifying under oath. But testifying under oath, you see it, maybe would be related to crimes or things you do in the court. Yes?
Okay, teacher.
Teacher,
It will be more specific for this one. Yes, Silvia.
and about tactful, like ways of telling the truth. Tactful.
Yes, that's a good one, tactful, because that's a way to tell the truth. Yeah, how do you do it? Yes, actually, that's one of the ones that describe how you do it, exactly as bluntly, frankly. Yes, tactful.
And trust it could be also trust.
Trust, what do you mean? The verb trust?
The word, yes, the word trust. Yes,
No.
in ways of telling. Okay.
No, not Sylvia. To trust is not related to telling truth or lies. No. It is connected because you say, well, I trust you because you are an honest person and you always tell the truth. Yeah, but it's not necessarily related to it. So no, the verb trust, no. Okay, minor lies. When you embellish the words because you are decorating, and in some cases you can also change that real meaning. So that would be one for that. What else? What else,
White
guys?
lies.
Sorry, Julian?
White lies.
Yes, white lies. White lies. There is also a fib. Yes, remember a fib? To tell a fib?
Teacher,
Yes, Silvia?
and telling tales could be. Telling tales.
It's because telling tales is more about something that is already said or done or written. You are just like retelling, yeah?
Okay.
But yeah, it's also part of minor lives. Yes. For example, you are telling a story that someone told you. That's telling tales. Yeah, that's a good for minor lies. What else? Tell a white lie, tell a fib, pass something off, making an excuse. Yes, Jeanette, making an excuse. Also, exaggerate. When you exaggerate something, you are telling a minor lie. Yeah.
Teacher, or embellishing
For
the
sure.
facts.
Embellishing, embellishing the facts. Embellish the facts, but you are decorating those things. Yes. We are missing one that I have mentioned, that is pass something off. Remember, when you pass something off, you're like making it true for another person, but that's a lie. I'm not saying that passing something off is something that we should do. No, for me, to be honest, it's so hard to say that there are levels of lies. Yeah, for me, lies and lies. Yeah, lies are lies. So it's so hard for me to just, but I know that in the context, it's like, teacher, but sometimes we have to because we want to avoid hurting people. I say, okay. Well, any other one here? Embellish, making excuse, pass something off, tell a fib, tell white lies, exaggerate. I think that's it. Let's go to things you do in court or things related to crimes. As Jessie said, testifying under oath. Yeah, okay. When you testify under oath, you are supposed to tell the entire truth. You are supposed to. If you don't do it, you are committing perjury. Yes, because even if perjury is a synonym of a lie, it is even more serious because you are under oath. Yeah, it's the same in Spanish, because in Spanish we also have that word. In Spanish we have perjurio, and that is a synonym of mentir. But yeah, we say, like, why is it necessary to complicate everything and say perjurio and not mentir? Say, well, because you can lie, and even without, any oath or not in court, so it's not so serious that if you are doing it under oath, yeah, that would be a crime. Okay, here, testifying under oath. What else? Committing perjury.
Forgery.
Yes. What else?
Forgery, teacher.
Sorry, Silvia.
Forgery.
Forgery. Yes, because if you do that one, you can go to prison as well. Yes. What else?
Morning, teacher.
Yes, conning, Mabel. If you con people out of something, out of money or out of any other thing. Yes. What else? Plagiarism. That is also something that is very serious. Yeah, plagiarism. What else? Carry hoax. Remember hoax? Yeah, the hoax.
Hoax.
Yes, hoax.
So,
Yes.
okay.
Here. And also when you have bogus things, bogus documents or whatever. Yeah, for example, a bogus passport or bogus ID. That's also something that will give you any visit to the court. What else? Anything? You remember bogus, right?
Yes, teacher.
Okay, I think we have mentioned them all. Any doubt or question about these ones? Not really? Okay. Let's go to relating to relationships. We have one that is cheat on someone, but I think we don't have it here in any place. I'm not sure. Cheat on someone, do we? I don't think we have it. Yes?
Cheat on someone.
Yes. Yes. Cheat on someone. Spread malicious gossip. That's also related to relationships because it is usually about people's personal lives. Yeah, so that's so bad. Tell rumors, that's also related to relationships, because it's not just, relationships is not just about love. Yeah, you have colleagues, you have friends, you have family members, and with those people we have relationships. Yeah. What else, guys? Any other one?
Teacher, I don't know, but illicit affair is not something related with relationships.
Yes, but what is the verb that you use for affair, Silvia?
Illicit affair.
Okay. Yes, that's relating to relationship. You can have it here, illicit affair. What is not is something, well, it is, because if you are telling lies, if you have an illicit affair, of course. Yeah, here, that's okay. Yes. Any other one?
And teacher, trust is, so trust, the word trust is not
Trust.
something related with that.
Let
Digamos,
me.
confianza, ¿no?
Okay, that would be the closer one here instead of the other ones. Trust for relationships. Yes, that's also here. Okay, any other one? Deceive will be in general, because deceive doesn't have to be, with relationships. Relationships cheat on. Deceive in another context, que es engañar, yeah? Okay, other, deceive, that is the one that I told you. What else? Do harm, because you can do harm not just in the relationship, but any other people. What else? Other, immoral situation, immoral behavior. What else?
Teacher, did you say that harm could be in related to relationships? Or
No, Silvia, because that will be so specific. Do harm will be here in order. Do harm.
Okay. Teacher, get away with
Get away with.
something.
Yes. And it could be other, but it could also be in crimes depending on the situation. Because when you lie and you get away with, like the son of that woman who didn't want to say the truth, yeah, it will be also here. And other as well. What else? The word illicit, just illicit, will be other. The one that Silvia mentioned that was illicit affair, relationship. Because if you have an affair, you have to have a couple. Otherwise, that's not an affair. Yeah, so illicit by itself, other. Illicit affair, here. What else? Under a false impression, other. You can be under a false impression, not just in a relationship, in any situation you can. What else? I think we have mentioned them all, right? Any other question, my dear friends? No? And where did you put be taken in?
Teacher, I put in other.
It could be other, but be taken in could be in, I think, in all the situations. Yeah, because be taken in is just that someone deceive you. Be taken in, estar engañado. Yeah, so basically all of them. Okay, guys, perfect. You did a good job. Any other question? Thank you so much for asking me to check it with you, because sometimes I just can't take the things for granted. And I was thinking, well, as they were working on that before, maybe they don't want to check it. But yeah, thank you for doing that. Of course, I'm always open for communication with you. My dear friends, let's go next. Next thing is to talk about this guy. This guy is sorry. Okay. This guy is an undercover. You know what is an undercover? No? What is an undercover police officer? Any idea? Okay, if you don't know, I will tell you. Let me show you some vocabulary related to that. Here. And then we are back to it and to listen. Okay. Okay, Julian, can you please help me read undercover officer, please? Julian?
Hello. Okay. So, undercover officer working in secretly using a face appearance in under to get information for the police or government. An undercover police operation and undercover detective.
Very good. Okay. So if you are an undercover officer or police officer, yeah, you have a mission. Yes, and you're working on that in a very secret way. Okay. And you can also get alive. Yeah, if you are an undercover police officer, you don't know how long it will be. How would you say undercover in Spanish?
Like
Encubierto.
Encubierto.
Yes. I'm not sure if we have like a special name for it in that profession. Well, I think that one. Yes, because we also have an infiltrate, but it's not the same. Okay, good. Andres, you help me read the next one, please.
Okay, teacher. Be set up by. If you are set up by someone, they make it seem that you have done something wrong when you have not. He claimed yesterday that he had been set up after drugs were discovered at his home.
Yes. What would be to be set up by? My dear friends. Is it clear? Basically, you are deceived. Yes? But, sorry, Jeanette?
it's like arrestado.
But there is one thing beneath that. One more thing. You are arrested because of that, but because you were set up by. How? Any idea? Es
No,
como
teacher.
es como si dijéramos, lo hicieron pasar por eso, ¿sí? Se estableció como eso, pero pues está engañado. Entonces, por ejemplo, cuando le ponen, por ejemplo, droga en los bolsillos al arrestado, entonces, ¿sí? Lo hacen a propósito, entonces lo hacen pasar por eso, ¿ok? Engañado, pero de ese tipo de forma, ¿ok? Being deceived in a very serious way, and of course, with a very bad consequence. Okay, Gerson, please help me with the next one.
So for teacher, have your conviction overturned? To overturn a decision or judgment if for a court to change it so it will not be in effect. For example, the court of appeals overturned her conviction and ordered a new trial.
Yes. So, have your conviction overturned. That's the whole expression you guys will see and will hear in our recording. Is it clear? Maybe I don't know if we have any lawyer in this class, but we will use those words. What will be that, my friends? It's basically that the judge would say no.
It is, sorry, teacher. It is when someone changes their mind. I don't know.
It is when, yes, exactly. It is when someone changes his or her mind, but not just someone in this context. But that's basically like that. But it's the judge, is the person. Is the judge the person who has the last word in a case? I think it is. It's like in Spanish, revocar la decisión, revocar la sentencia, anular la condena. ¿Sí? Pues decía que esas palabras, ¿ya? So they will say, no, we need another meeting to just, make another decision, yeah? It will happen in very specific cases in which the other part, have different evidence or other ways of proof, or, it is not very common, but it can happen. Okay, that's to have your conviction, overturned. Okay, let's continue. Lisette, read the next one, please.
Infiltrate, to secretly enter or join something such as a group or an organization in order to get information or do harm.
Yes, thank you, Lisette. I think that is familiar to us. Okay, Judy, can you read the next one, please?
Yes, teacher. Sue the police. Suing the police is one option available to you if those officers have engaged
Yes.
misconduct that violate your constitutional rights.
Sorry, it.
I'm sorry. It can be very difficult to succeed in this kind of lawsuits, but it definitely is possible.
It definitely is possible. Okay, thank you, Judy. So basically, you guys know what is to sue someone, because we have already discussed a case in which a woman, remember the woman who got burned with a very, very hot coffee? And she sued the company, I guess, yeah? We know sue, yeah? Demandar. So sue the police, well, do that to the police. And it's so hard to succeed, of course. It is very hard because imagine, they are the ones in charge of everything. They are the ones who are also from that side of the law, yeah? But they are also human beings, and they can also act in the wrong way, yes? Okay, and we have two more, or three. No, two. I made a mistake with the last one. Police baton, that is the word. Police baton is the stick police officers use to defend themselves. Basically, this thing is the baton. And to be battered and bruised is to be injured and hurt. Okay? Apaleado, amoratado, herido, yes, battered and bruised. Maybe with the baton. That's what it does. Okay, friends. Questions before we start with the listening? What are the questions? No questions? Okay, let's discuss a little bit about being an undercover police officer. Let's talk a little bit about it. Okay, look at the picture. Actually, that picture is a real one. So if you want to check out the story, you can. And let's talk a little bit about it. What do you think are some of the qualities or characteristics of a good undercover police officer? Tell me. Which ones? To be a liar? Come on, guys.
Someone with cold feelings,
Okay.
something like that.
Thank you, Julian. Yeah, because maybe that person will miss their family and friends and the real life. Yeah. That would be so hard. What else? Know how
Teacher,
to lie, says Jeanette. Sorry?
good an actor?
Sorry, you said?
Good an actor?
Okay. Good at acting? Yes, of course. Good at lying and good at acting. Yes, you are saying very similar things to Jeanette. Julian, to have poker face. Yes. Yeah. What else? Any other one? Okay, so what do you
Teacher,
think?
I don't know if it's the I don't know if it's the correct word, but be thorough, like minucioso.
Okay. Yes. And pay attention to details. Yes, of course. Yeah, that's very important because if you forget about every, single thing, it would be like so bad. I think the person has to have lots of strength. It's not just like physical, like being strong physically, but also strength because those situations can be very stressful. Yeah, and what if you just want to quit? Okay, next is, what do you think are some of the things that those people must never do or always do?
Teacher, keep in touch with their family?
Yeah, just it. Because they can keep track of him or her. Yes. And also, I don't know, maybe to tell things related to his job, to trust people who are not part of that mission. Even if in the mission and in the project, yeah, there will be infiltrates. So they have to be very careful with the information they provide, right? And now, question for you. Would you make a good undercover officer? Do you have that profile?
In my case, no, teacher, because I think we have to be very patient, and we have to break rules to do the right things. Yes.
Yes, Judy, that's a good point because at some point of the situation or the case, you will also have to do things that you do not do in your real life and you wouldn't do. Yes? Wow. That's a hard job, I think. Okay, my friends, now let's listen. We are going to listen in 3 parts. The first part will be answered with me. So it will be discussed with me. We will answer the questions. The second and the third part with another person. The good thing is that the recording is easy to understand. It's short, so it's gonna be okay. But if you feel that you cannot hear very well, just tell me because I also have another solution. I posted the audio script in our classwork. Yeah, there is a folder, there is a document that says Unit 10 listening audio script. So one of you can play it and we can just read it by those slides. Yeah, there will always be a solution, don't worry. So let's check out. We are going to listen to the true story of an undercover officer, this guy, John Kay, okay, who spent 7 years spying. Oh my God, no, 7 years? Oh no, I wouldn't do it. 7 years spying on environmental activists. Look, this picture is a real one. And here we have this. Which words or phrases from these ones do you think apply to John Kay and which to the activists? For example, provide intelligence. Activists or at the undercover office John?
Undercover officer, teacher.
Yeah? Provide intelligence. Well, what if I say both? No, but yes, because the person will be, yes, in charge of doing that. Be set up by the police. Which one? Well, maybe we are just making predictions and we will find out with the listening. Charged with a crime. The undercover officer, maybe he killed any of a person who was marching. No?
Teacher, I think it is maybe environmental activist.
Okay, thank you, Yesid. Have your conviction overturned. So the judge said, no, this is not the final decision. Let's do it again. A new identity, of course, the undercover officer. Protest banners. Remember banners? Remember that we studied that vocabulary when we studied the media. Protest banners, the activists. Yeah? Unconventional. Could be both. Vegan. We don't know. We don't have any idea. Infiltrate. Maybe, well, I'm not sure. And sue the police. The activist.
The activist.
Okay, friends. Let's read. Let's do this first part together. Sorry, let's read now. Let's listen. Let's do this one together, and then we answer the other parts in couples. Okay, let's see. Let's put the video off. Let's listen. I don't think we need to listen to it because it is short. I mean, listen, no, read. So let's check it. Just tell me if you cannot understand well, okay?
Unit 10, Recording 1. A. This is the true story of an undercover police officer who fell in love with the people he was supposed to be spying on. Names and some details have been changed to protect the identity of those involved. John Kay grew up on the outskirts of Leeds. The son of a well-respected transport police officer, he followed...
Sorry, is everything okay?
Yes,
teacher.
teacher.
Oh my God, thank God. Sorry for the interruption. Let's do it again.
Unit 10, Recording 1. A. This is the true story of an undercover police officer who fell in love with the people he was supposed to be spying on. Names and some details have been changed to protect the identity of those involved. John Kay grew up on the outskirts of Leeds. The son of a well-respected transport police officer, he followed his father's example and joined the police force at the age of 21. You'll never be rich, his father told him, but you'll be proud of what you've done. John quickly impressed his superior officers, and he began working as an undercover officer, helping to arrest drug dealers. He got married and had 2 children, but his taste for adventure meant that he was an unconventional father. He also loved going to punk rock concerts and was an expert climber, which meant that he was frequently away on climbing trips all over Europe. Because he was good at his job, John was asked to join a new police unit, part of whose role was to spy on environmental groups. He was given training and a new identity. He grew his hair long, got his ears pierced, and had several tattoos done. He learned to be vegan, and when he was ready, started to infiltrate the activists. It wasn't easy to be accepted at first, but John's experience as a climber proved very useful, as the group frequently climbed towers and tall buildings in order to hang protest banners. Slowly, the other protesters came to know and trust John. They nicknamed him Johnny Cash because, unlike many of them, John always seemed to have as much money as he needed. For his part, John was sympathetic to the environmental movement and what it was trying to achieve. Many of its members were people much like him, and he justified his job by telling himself that he wasn't harming the protesters by spying on them, quite the opposite, in fact. By providing the police with intelligence on their activities, he was helping to protect them. He felt that if the police knew what the activists were planning, they could make sure no one got hurt. It wasn't long, however, before John began to question this view and wonder which side was right.
Interesting. Did you guys understand? You want to listen again? Do you think that you guys need to read the old script, or it's better this way that is a little bit more challenging? Because you guys are very close to the exam next Thursday. So?
Can we listen again, please, teacher?
Sure. Yeah. Okay, let's do this. If there is any person who maybe wants to just read while you listen, go to, okay, let me just send it to you very quickly. But if you want to do it in a very challenging way for you to force yourself to practice your listening, it's better not to do it, okay? It's your decision. I'm not going to show it to you. I mean, not in the screen, but if you want to, that's okay. Maybe if you want to understand it better. But if you want to challenge yourself and practice listening, just listen, okay? Let's continue. I was just underlining something that will be clue by telling true or false. Listen again.
Unit 10, Recording 1. A. This is the true story of an undercover police officer who fell in love with the people he was supposed to be spying on. Names and some details have been changed to protect the identity of those involved. John Kay grew up on the outskirts of Leeds. The son of a well-respected transport police officer, he followed his father's example and joined the police force at the age of 21. You'll never be rich, his father told him, but you'll be proud of what you've done. John quickly impressed his superior officers, and he began working as an undercover officer, helping to arrest drug dealers. He got married and had 2 children, but his taste for adventure meant that he was an unconventional father. He also loved going to punk rock concerts and was an expert climber, which meant that he was frequently away on climbing trips all over Europe. Because he was good at his job, John was asked to join a new police unit, part of whose role was to spy on environmental groups. He was given training and a new identity. He grew his hair long, got his ears pierced, and had several tattoos done. He learned to be vegan, and when he was ready, started to infiltrate the activists. It wasn't easy to be accepted at first, but John's experience as a climber proved very useful, as the group frequently climbed towers and tall buildings in order to hang protest banners. Slowly, the other protesters came to know and trust John. They nicknamed him Johnny Cash because, unlike many of them, John always seemed to have as much money as he needed. For his part, John was sympathetic to the environmental movement and what it was trying to achieve. Many of its members were people much like him, and he justified his job by telling himself that he wasn't harming the protesters by spying on them, quite the opposite, in fact. By providing the police with intelligence on their activities, he was helping to protect them. He felt that if the police knew what the activists were planning, they could make sure no one got hurt. It wasn't long, however, before John began to question this view and wonder which side was right.
Okay, my dear friends, let's try to analyze one by one, and let's try to remember what are those hints that we can use for supporting our answers. Is it true? Is it false? Okay? Let's start with the first one. Okay, let's read the statements, just the statement, don't worry. Lisette, you start, please. Read the first statement.
Okay, teacher. John's father was an undercover officer.
Okay, my dear friends, what information did we hear that tell us that that's true? John's father was an undercover officer. Or maybe you say, no, teacher, I have some information that tells me that that's not true. Because blah, blah, blah. So,
Teacher,
yes,
for
yes,
example, it's false because his father was an officer, but he wasn't undercover officer.
So you can say, well, it's partly true, partly false. But you are right, Jessie. He was also an officer, but he was not an undercover one, right? What kind of officer was, well, he was an officer, but what did he do in the police? What was his role? Do you remember?
Teacher, he was a transport police officer.
Yes, he was a transport police officer. Thank you, Lisette. Yes, he was in charge of that. Very good. Now, let's listen to Carlos reading the statement, please.
Teacher, John spent as much time as possible with his family.
Okay. As much time with his family. What information do you guys have for supporting that idea? True or false?
Oh, teacher,
It is false.
because he was unconventional.
Unconventional, yeah. He was an unconventional father. So he was not all the time there, right? Any other information for that, guys? He was frequently away. Yes. So as much time, because he was frequently away. Good. So this one is also false. Natalia, can you read the next one, please?
Okay, teacher. Third is John was chosen to join the new police unit because he already looked like an activist.
Okay. Is that real or that's not real, guys? True or false?
False, teacher.
Yeah. Was it that the real reason why he was chosen? No. He was asked to be an undercover officer because he was very good at his job. Yeah? He had those abilities and he did it well. Yes? But not because he looked like an activist. Okay. So this is also false. Okay. Elkin, please. Can you read 4?
Okay, teacher. Can you hear me?
Yes.
He was nicknamed Johnny Cash because of his skill as a climber.
I underlined his skill as a climber for you to tell me why it's not true.
That is not true because I remember that the audio, excuse me, or okay, the listening, and talk about money. They seem they look for and have as much money. I think that as he needs. I don't know, but
Yes, you're
that
right.
is the
Because people around him took him as he seemed to have more money, yes, than he needed. Yeah.
he's so ambitious.
Exactly. Yes, actually more or as much as money as he needed. Yeah. And that's why they named him Johnny Cash. Yes, that's the word. Okay, and the last one, Jeanette.
John agreed with many of the aims of the environmental protesters.
Okay, true or false, my dear friends?
True, teacher. but I don't remember why.
Actually, that's true. And he said that he was like one part of him, yeah, belonged to that. Yes. And that's why he didn't feel so bad, doing that job. Yes, because he also supported those things with the environment. Yeah, so he agreed with many of the aims of the environmental protesters, those goals. Yes, so that's true. This is true, my friends. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay, now let's do the other two parts. So I'm going to give you a link, yes, for you to have those questions ready. We are going to listen to the second part, and then we will listen to the last part. Yes, there are two more parts. And after we listen to them, you guys go with a partner and answer the questions. Okay, so let me give you the link very quickly. Listening discussion part 2. Okay, here, part 2 and 3. And you guys can take your notes, and then you will discuss those notes with your classmate, and we'll answer the questions. Okay, let's listen to the next part. What are we going to pay attention to? To these questions. What happened at the protest in Edinburgh in 2004? What happened to John's marriage? Who did John find it most difficult to lie to? Because he had to lie to lots of people. Why did the police arrest over 100 people? Why did John suspect he was being set up? Okay, oh my God, imagine he needed, he needed to do that, and then he was being set up. Okay, do you understand this question? Yes? Boys and girls?
Yes.
Okay. That he was being deceived. Okay, estaba siendo engañado. Okay. Let's listen.
Unit 10, Recording 2. In Edinburgh in 2004, John joined thousands of other activists at a protest. To protect his identity, local police were not told that an undercover agent was present. As the protesters pushed forward, John, who was at the front, found himself under attack. He was hit by a police baton. One of his fellow protesters jumped in to protect him and was also hit. Battered and bruised, John left the protest in a state of confusion. The intelligence he was providing was supposed to prevent violence happening, but instead he had been attacked by his police colleagues and protected by the people he was spying on. It wasn't easy to understand. It was also becoming increasingly difficult for John to reconcile his two lives. Every few weeks he returned home to see his wife and children, but he was a different man from the one his wife had known. He grew vegetables in the garden, refused to eat meat, and eventually he and his wife became estranged. They stayed together for children, but their marriage was effectively over. Around this time, John also fell in love with a woman in the movement. They became inseparable and spent as much time together as possible. Being in love, John found it difficult to lie to her about his true identity. Despite this, his career was going well, and his senior officers were pleased with the intelligence he was giving them. The final straw, however, came in 2009, when John was asked to secretly record a group who were planning to shut down an oil refinery. John was torn because many of the protesters were his friends, and he knew that his evidence might send some of them to jail. Reluctantly, he agreed. On the day that the activists planned to shut down the refinery, the police burst into the hall where the group was staying and arrested everyone. over 100 people. They eventually charged just 19 of them, and it is amazing, John was one of them. When he asked his senior officers why he was being charged, they said that it was out of their hands. John began to suspect he was being set up. He knew that he couldn't go to court and be charged because his identity was false and he didn't really exist. He would be found out. He also knew that if the police dropped the charges against him, his friends in the movement would become suspicious. For the first time, John had no idea what he should do.
Oh my God, things turned up into a bad thing. Okay, let's do this. I know that you have to listen again, and I know that this is longer than the previous one. So don't worry. Let's listen again, and you just answer the second part. We are not going to focus on the third one because of the time. Okay, so let's listen again, and then you go and answer these questions, and that's it. Okay. This time you can also check out the script that is in the slides that I shared some minutes ago, if you need to have a better, clear idea.
Unit 10, Recording 2. In Edinburgh in 2004, John joined thousands of other activists at a protest. To protect his identity, local police were not told that an undercover agent was present. As the protesters pushed forward, John, who was at the front, found himself under attack. He was hit by a police baton. One of his fellow protesters jumped in to protect him and was also hit. Battered and bruised, John left the protest in a state of confusion. The intelligence he was providing was supposed to prevent violence happening, but instead he had been attacked by his police colleagues and protected by the people he was spying on. It wasn't easy to understand. It was also becoming increasingly difficult for John to reconcile his two lives. Every few weeks, he returned home to see his wife and children, but he was a different man from the one his wife had known. He grew vegetables in the garden, refused to eat meat, and eventually he and his wife became estranged. They stayed together for the children, but their marriage was effectively over. Around this time, John also fell in love with a woman in the movement. They became inseparable and spent as much time together as possible. Being in love, John found it difficult to lie to her about his true identity. Despite this, his career was going well, and his senior officers were pleased with the intelligence he was giving them. The final straw, however, came in 2009, when John was asked to secretly record a group who were planning to shut down an oil refinery. John was torn because many of the protesters were his friends, and he knew that his evidence might send some of them to jail. Reluctantly, he agreed. On the day that the activists planned to shut down the refinery, the police burst into the hall where the group was staying and arrested everyone, over 100 people. They eventually charged just 19 of them, and it is amazing, John was one of them. When he asked his senior officers why he was being charged, they said that it was out of their hands. John began to suspect he was being set up. He knew that he couldn't go to court and be charged because his identity was false, and he didn't really exist. He would be found out. He also knew that if the police dropped the charges against him, his friends in the movement would become suspicious. For the first time, John had no idea what he should do.
Okay, my dear friends, you guys can help yourself with the audio script that I just posted there, okay? And please answer these questions and we are done. Questions to me? No questions?
No, teacher.
Okay, I think I will, okay. 777. Okay, Carlos. Okay, guys, you guys have the link in the chat. Let's go and work on it. Okay, boys and girls, thank you so much for your hard work. I was checking what you were doing, and most of you are about to finish. So if you have any time tomorrow, you can finish, okay? Don't worry. And for the other part, do not worry, we are not going to do it. Just the second one, that was the one that we listened to. Okay? Have a wonderful night, get some rest, and have a good day tomorrow. See you tomorrow, guys. Take care.
Bye bye.
Thank you,
Bye.
teacher. Bye.
Okay, guys, my pleasure.